morning, children. Sai Ram. Welcome back to your history class. Children, we had already started in lesson number 3, Applied History. Yes, today I will start with part 3 of this lesson, Applied History. But before that, let's have a quick recap of what we had learned in part 2. Children, in part 2 online session, I had already started with 3.2, that is applied history and research in various fields. Okay, there are various fields wherein history is very useful, but then we had just covered a few. Today I will proceed further. Okay, but before that, let us learn what we had covered in our part 2 session. Okay, now children, first we had learned about philosophy, that if you want to learn or understand about philosophical expression, knowledge of history of language proves useful, because for philosophy, language is a medium of expression. So if you want to learn about philosophical expressions, knowledge of history of language proves useful. Next, we had learnt about science, that changes which had taken place in the field of science, and how need is the mother of invention. Yes, children. So, children, knowledge of history of science also helps us to understand the factors that facilitated a scientific discovery or invention. Okay, so you should know about the history of science. Okay, the changes have taken place, so many changes have taken place, but you should know about the history of science. Yes, why we should learn about the history of science? Because we should know what are the factors that facilitated a scientific invention or discovery. Okay, now next is about technology. Yes, now children, technology, though you all are aware of, as I told you in your previous class, that you all are tech savvy. Yes, so children, it is very important to have a knowledge of history of technology, to know what are the changes taking place in mechanization and mutual dependence between science and technology. Science and technology, they both are depending on each other. So knowledge of history of technology, it will help you to understand the changes which had taken place in mechanization and the dependence, that is the how they both are mutually depending on each other, that is science and technology. So children, in our part 2 online session, we had covered till here. Now I will proceed further. Okay, now children, let us learn how knowledge of history is helpful in commerce and industry. So now we'll be learning about what is this industry and commerce. Children, basically, industry and commerce, it is a we can say a components of business. They are the components of business. So industry and commerce is nothing but business and the give and take. Now children, here as you have just seen the flow chart, the business, okay, it is being subdivided into industry, commerce, trade, and auxiliaries to trade. So business is nothing but industry and commerce, that is a give and take, that is a transactions which we used to have. Trade is what? Trade is nothing but exchange of goods and services, right? And auxiliaries to trade. What is auxiliary? Auxiliary means, now for example, if you whatever the goods are produced, if you want to see to it that the goods are reaching to the customers, so from the goods to be taken from the factory to actual customers, there are a lot of processes involved. For example, transport, then marketing, okay, that wholesale, retailing, all this is involved. That is called auxiliaries to trade. So auxiliaries to trade are helping the trade. Okay, it is helping to trade, right? Now, so what is business? Business is nothing but industry and commerce and trade and auxiliaries to trade. Now children, let us learn about industry and commerce. The field of mutual social transactions expands with the growth of industry and trade. Now, social transactions means here, as I told you, transactions means give and take. That is, you are having a give and take relation. So, field of mutual social transactions, it will expand with the growth of industry and trade. Now, children, there are different types of trade. You know about the internal trade, then we had the international trade, local trade, right? So these are different types of trade. So when you are having trade, there's a we all having there's a social transaction, okay, and that social transaction, it expands with the growth of industry and trade. It also promotes continuous development of network of cultural interactions. Cultural interactions means, I'll give you an example, okay. Now children, you all know that Britishers, they had arrived at India because of trading purpose, okay. They were very much interested with the spices which our country used to produce. So they had come basically for trading purpose, right? They had established so many factories also, right? So when they had come here, okay, when they had come to India, they had got their culture also with them, right? That is, we had a interaction, cultural interaction. One more example I will give you. Suppose you all know about Vasco da Gama, right? He was a Portuguese traveler. And if you see in Goa, okay, maximum people are Christians there, right? So that is, they have brought their culture also along with them. So it is a cultural interaction, we say. Then it is an integral part of industrial and commercial management. So here it is an integral part, means very important part of industrial and commercial management. So what is industry and commerce? Industry and commerce is nothing but how we are doing trade. That is how the business is done. So there's a social transaction, that is transactions between the people, that is the give and take of goods and services. It also expands, okay, and there's a continuous development of network of cultural interactions. Cultural interactions means when you are dealing with the people of different states through the internal trade, that is the export import, okay. So we are having a cultural interaction also with them. So that is an integral part of industrial and commercial management. It is an integral part of industrial and commercial management. Now, nature of market and commerce has continued to change. Now, children, nature of market. If you remember when you were in fifth standard and all, in your previous classes, you have learned about the nature of market. That is, it was a barter system. Yes. So barter system means, children, exchanging goods for goods. Then later on, money has started, and now so we are having all this credit card, debit card, all these type of changes have taken place. So market is changing. That is how you are doing the transactions, okay. So all has changed over a period of time. So market commerce has continued to change. There are a lot of changes which are taking place. Accordingly, nature of human relationships and social organizations also has continued to change. That is how that is when we are interacting with people. That is a social relation. So human relationship and social organizations, they have also started changing. To understand this development, it is necessary to study the history of culture, social organization, and economic institutions. See, everywhere you will see it is given, it is necessary to understand the study the history. Means, children, if you want to know what changes have taken place in various fields, you should know about the history of that, okay, of that particular field. So whatever developments or whatever changes are taking place, if you want to know about that in detail, you have to learn about the history of that particular field. So to understand the development in industry and commerce, that is a trade, okay, it is necessary that we study the history of culture, social organization, and economic institutions. Now children, what are economic institutions? Now children, economic institutions, it's basically an organization that deals with money or with managing the distribution of money, goods, services in an economy. For example, banks, then there are various government organizations, then investments, funds, okay. that is the funds, that is they are giving the funds for factory or for business purposes, you require money. So banks are the examples of economic institutions. They give loan and then factories could be set up or business could be set up. So here economic institutions, right? So what is economic institutions? It's a company or an organization that deals with money or with managing the distribution of money, goods and services in an economy. For example, bank, government organizations and investment funds. Okay, so that was about industry and commerce. That is, it is nothing but business and trade. What changes have taken place over a period of time? That is, the nature of market has changed, economic institutions. Okay, so many things have changed over a period of time. So if you want to learn the changes which have taken place, you should know about the history of this field, that is industry and commerce. Now, let us proceed to the next field, that is management studies. Children, what is management? So children, management is nothing but art of managing people. Okay, we'll study about that. What is management studies? Now children, in order to understand various factors involved in the chain of production, such as means of production, human resources and processes of production, as well as the chain of market and sales management, etc., it is essential to have a knowledge of similar functional systems of the past. Now, children, in management studies, we have to understand the factors which are involved in the chain of production. Now, in chain of production, so many things are involved. Means of production. Means of production means land, labor, capital, market. They are the means of production. Human resources, that is the labor, okay, that is the people, those who are working. Process of production, that is, let us see now in the next, I'll tell you what is process of production. As well as chain of market, that is wholesalers, retailers, all these are involved. Sales management, that is how it is finally reaching to the customer. It is essential to have a knowledge of similar functional systems of the past. So if you want to know about all this, you should know about the history of the past of the management. Okay, now here you see what is the production process. Now production process will follow several stages and involve transformation of raw material into finished articles. Now children, process of production, what is this production process? Now children, raw material is required, right? Then process is done, output, finished goods, and finally it is to reach to the customers, right? So this is a process of production, and this process of production, so many people are involved in that, right? That is, the labor is involved, and for all these things, okay, you have to, it has to go finally to the customer. So sales management is involved. So all this, and even the workers, you have to take care about the psychology of workers also, right? Because human resources, they are involved in this process of production. So this process of production, it involves so many people, that is, it involves the human resources, right, as I told you. So psychology of workers, you have to be very careful. Okay, now it is essential to understand the psychological character of people working at various levels in the chain of production and marketing for healthy management. As I told you, it is very important that we understand the character of people, because people are involved, that is, you are giving, that is employment opportunities, right? So the people are involved in working at various levels in the chain of production, right? So for example, when the raw material, collection of the raw material, then it is being processed, it would be in the factories, so we require workers for that. Even sales management, people are involved, so human resources are involved, right? So the management has to take care of the psychology of the workers, okay, and those who are involved in the chain of production and marketing for healthy management. There should be a good relationship between the management and the workers, so their relation should be healthy. It means that both have to take care of each other, that is, the management has to take care of the workers, that is about the psychology. So children, when you will go for your higher studies, when you go pursue higher education in commerce, you will learn about Henry Fayol's principles of management. There he had given 14 principles. He had given 14 principles of management, wherein he had studied about the psychology of workers. For example, how the work has to be divided, then equal pay, then working conditions. All these things have to be taken care of. That is about the workers, how we have to take care of them. So 14 principles of management are given by Henry Fayol, which you will be learning when you pursue education in commerce. Okay, so it is very important that to maintain a healthy relationship between management and workers, the management has to take care of the psychology of workers. Okay, the people, those who are involved in the chain of production. Okay, how they will take care of them? By giving them proper salaries, by giving them proper working conditions. Okay, so all these things are to be taken care of by the management. So children, in order to achieve that healthy relationship or healthy management, understanding of the social and economic institutions that support the industrial and commercial processes is important. So children, if healthy management is required, so for that purpose, to achieve healthy management, it is very important to understand about the social and economic institutions, that is about the banks, those are providing money, okay, to carry the means of production, that is to carry the business, to carry the trade. Okay, money is required, finance is required, and that is being given by banks. So it is very important to understand about the social and economic institutions that support the industrial and commercial processes. It is very important to learn about them. So you should know about the history in this regard. Okay, that makes the management at various levels easier. There are different types of management. Okay, there's a pyramid you will learn in your higher classes. We had the top management, middle level management, lower management. All the you will learn in your higher classes when you go for your, if you go for commerce, right? So knowledge of history in this regard, that is to know about the management, it is very important to know about the history of that. Okay, that will make the management at various levels easier. So it is very important to take care of the people. Okay, it will be done by the management. Okay, to learn about the economic institutions and the investments and how the economic institutions they are helping in industrial and the commercial processes, so that it goes in a smooth manner, so that the management at various levels it becomes easier. Okay, so children, today we had covered just the two fields, that is research in only two fields, that is industry and commerce and management studies. Okay, now children, in our next class we'll continue that how knowledge of history is useful in other fields too. Okay, so till now we have covered about philosophy, science, technology, industry and commerce, management studies. Okay, we have done till here. So children, keep on revising. Okay, and I will continue the remaining in the next class. Thank you, my dear students. Okay, meet in the next class. Till then, take care.